Hi there, welcome to Taurus Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Taurus energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be what I refer to as high vibe Taurus energy, and the bottom row, a more worldly, shadowy Taurus energy. Because we've all got our dualistic nature and we have to make choices in our life. And we can be tempted by our more worldly nature, which also can be our more immature, prideful, egotistical, selfish, self-centered, immature nature. The list goes on. Or we can have more hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in our dreams and love ourselves and make a more high vibrational decision in our life. So there could be some people that are struggling within themselves right now, but there's could be other people, because this isn't a personal reading, it's just telling you how different people could be harnessing this energy and what could be their influencing them. Some people are going to be moving forward in life differently than they were before, because life's about learning lessons, healing and growing and maturing yourself, and looking at life differently and having more hope and faith and belief in yourself. And some people have done some of that work. And so they are going to be moving forward in life differently, that maybe than just other people in the world or other people in their life. So we all tap into Taurus energy. Taurus energy is about kind of all these unwritten rules in our head. It's like the Supreme Court in our head, the law of our land. Everybody has went through debate processes in their life within themselves about what they think is right and wrong and just and fair, and they have their Taurus law of the land, how they view life, how they view others, how they view themselves, how they view relationships, what they think is just and fair. And it ultimately comes down to, at a core foundational level, what our truth is. Is love something we believe in? Are we motivated and inspired by love? Is that what drives our decisions? Or are we more about ourself or the world and looking to those things to be the answer to our problems? Well, let's look at the bottom row first. We all grow up in the world. We all get really indoctrinated by the world, and maybe the first 30 years of our life, we're really consumed with those things of the world, and we think those things of the world are what's going to make us happy. So, in the bottom row, we have the Aquarius star card. Thing is, we get so caught up in the things of the world, we kind of put an end to our more hopeful, believing, creative, inspired nature to see through the illusion of the world, that if we keep making our life just about ourselves or more about these things of the world, and we don't learn to look at life from a higher perspective, it's probably not going to turn out the way we think. We're probably going to feel betrayed. Then we have a card not showing itself. The Ace of Cups, rejecting the Ace of Cups, rejecting love. And I think learning to love yourself is one of the hardest lessons to learn. And then once you learn how to love yourself, then your life can kind of take off. So the reason for the top rose reading is the Six of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy, and about being more balanced. The shadowy row can be where we're kind of more tipped out of balance, where we're more in favor, thinking we're the boss. We can go do all these things. These things are the answer. We will be happy. And then we realize we're kind of we could be being immature, kind of indulging our more immature nature, our egotistical nature, self-centered nature, maybe because we've been hurt, so we kind of gave up on our dreams somewhere along the way. But if, life's about learning lessons, if we're willing to see that the things we went and pursued, non-life-giving energy, it didn't work out the way we wanted. Love is the answer. And if we're willing to see the truth that I had a dream, I went and did this, and it didn't work out the way I wanted. And partly in our more worldly nature, we can be looking to other people outside of ourselves to be the answer. You're supposed to love me. You're supposed to validate my worth and value. You're supposed to love and encourage. Like, I'm not supposed to do that for myself because I haven't learned how to do that. And then we'll have a lot of people in our life who don't offer us that cup of love we were looking for. Because we were meant to look at life from a higher perspective and have hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in our dreams. And if we're willing to get out of our more worldly egoic nature and say, that didn't work, maybe I should be inspired to look at life from a higher perspective. I can be in my ego. I can keep doing this pattern over and over and over. Or I can admit maybe I don't see everything clearly. Maybe if I look at life from a bigger picture and put things in perspective, maybe that would help me deal with some issues in my life that didn't work out the way I wanted. When I could have been in that more hopeful, believing spirit, and I had people in my life that I wanted to have worked together with me in love, and some of those people had their own issues, and they kind of could have turned their back to me, and they could have gotten more caught up in being about themselves and the world and everything else. If I put it in perspective, it's just realizing everybody goes through this and everybody gets caught up in the world and everybody could maybe possibly choose to live a more emotionally shallow, superficial life, possibly for some people be more intimidating and controlling in the world. Some people keep indulging their more immature nature. Some people keep being defensive. Some people keep, our more immature worldly nature is a very egocentric, self-centered nature. It's all about me. Everyone else should put aside their pride and ego, but never me. I am the star of the show. Everybody should make their life all about me. And when we're children, we can have a lot of pain and heartbreak because we don't feel like we got the attention and love, and people weren't the loving, encouraging people we wish they would have been. Then we take it personally, like I'm rejected, people don't love me. And really, if we put life in perspective, we just realize our parents are human beings, and some people had atrocious parents, and that's its own category. But, it is kind of putting it in perspective that everybody has to take responsibility for themselves, to heal and grow and mature themselves, and some people didn't. To be more just and fair and loving people, and some people didn't. And that is the truth of the world. Everybody has free will to learn lessons in life, to treat other people the way they like to be treated, to be just and fair, to act with character and integrity, grow up, heal, mature themselves, keep things in perspective. Don't get all caught up in your head and your fear and your insecurities, your pettiness, your jealousy, your envy. But there's people who live their life like that. And, we all have the free will of like what soil we plant our life in. And some people plant their life in egotism, ego, selfishness, greed, petty, envious, and jealous, envious, hurtful, unkind, abusive, and we just see the truth of it. And we don't let the fact that there are other people in the world who are shadowy keep us repeating a pattern like that. And we do the work to free ourselves. And we get inspired that just because there's been hurtful, unkind people in my life that were kind of in shadowy energy or just emotionally shallow, superficial, and immature, I am not going to let people like that make me give up on my dreams. I'm just going to let go of them. If they want to indulge in their more immature ways of being, you got free will, you go. I have a dream, and I'm going to love myself. And with this card not showing itself, sometimes we can get in relationships. We've all been immature. We've all been caught up in these things of the world, had to learn all these lessons in life. Some people, though, some people in our life, we keep growing and maturing with them, and we keep kind of going through this cycle. We get into a phase of life, we have a new way of being, then it starts to get, we kind of learned everything we needed to learn there. It's time to face our fears, kind of quit indulging ourselves in our more immature nature, keep believing in our dreams. We offer ourselves that cup of love, and we go to the next phase of life, and we go there, And then at that phase of life, it starts to, again, we've learned everything we can learn there, kind of. We're ready, listening to our intuition and our creative, inspired nature. We put in this work and effort to keep moving forward, kind of like the nesting dolls over there. I keep kind of giving birth to a new me, age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25. Because if I keep living my life at a certain way of life and I never budge from that, it does become dead because there isn't anything new to learn there. But for some reason, I refuse to move to the next stage of life. Maybe I have a harsh, critical inner voice. Maybe I have an overprotective of myself. I can't go out there. I could get hurt. I have to stay here. And it can be, instead of offering themselves love to heal and work through those issues, to have some hope and faith and belief, we can keep indulging our more immature, fearful, insecure nature. And some people will do that all their life because the shadowy road can just be, I don't let my more authentic nature out to play in the world. It could get hurt. So I let my ego run my life. And we can get in relationships with some people who are like that. And, up here we have the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. We want them in our life and we'd like to invest in them. But from the Four to the Seven of Pentacles, it's about working together cooperatively. We can love people. We can have siblings and friends and people that we work with that, gee, I'd really like to move forward with you in a more cooperative way. But there can come a point in time where if we're ready to move forward in life differently, they're not. Or if during the course of the relationship, we had more hope and faith and belief and love, and we could kind of realize that they might be someone who likes to keep their more authentic, creative, inspired, hopeful, believing nature hidden beneath the surface, is what shadowy Scorpio energy can be. I can't make people do the work they need to do within themselves to let that aspect of themselves out to play, to be able to be more hopeful and believing and love and in themselves, and to love themselves and be in deep, more meaningful relationships. So sometimes we can get in relationships and some people who are more worldly and shadowy try to present themselves as being more high vibe than they are. Oh no, I'm willing to do love. Oh yeah, no, I've learned all these lessons too. I'm not egotistical or defensive or shallow or superficial. But then we can kind of find out as we get in a relationship that they have some issues they need to work on. And if we were to be in a relationship with them, because there's just all these different people in the world and it's perfectly fine. They can live their life whatever way they want. But if we're going to be in like a romantic relationship with them, we would want to be in relationships with some people who've tempered some things in their ego to work with us more cooperatively from love in a relationship. And if they kind of indulge some more immature ways of being and kind of defensive to looking at life from a higher perspective or having hope and faith and belief and love, there might come a point in time that I wish you peace, but I'm not going to keep investing in a relationship with you. Go free to live your life the way you want. But your idea of the dream life and my idea of the dream life and your idea of the dream relationship and my idea of the dream relationship and our philosophies of life and maybe what we think is just and fair and what drives and motivates us is different. So some of you have already went through that with some people. You also could have had some other people that you thought you were going to keep moving forward. But the truth is, if you don't indulge them in their more immature ways of being, or you're not more about the world, then they don't want to be in a relationship with you either, and they could have quit offering you a cup of love. Either way, it kind of puts us in some shadowy energy that we need to work through. I wanted to be in a relationship with that person. They didn't want to be in a relationship with me. Well, some people keep staying in their shadowy energy and they're not willing, like they just stay defensive. They might go get in other relationships, but now I don't trust people. Now I don't believe in love. Or I'm going to be defensive and give up on my dreams. I let something that didn't work out the way I wanted make me defensive to believing in myself. Other people, we can go into that energy because we have to heal. And in the Four of Pentacles, we're not ready to go get in a relationship with someone else because we definitely could have felt wounded. We're emotionally complex human beings. We had a dream we wanted to bring into reality, and it didn't work out the way we wanted. Let's go look at this card that's not showing itself. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, things don't go the way that we wanted. And sometimes in our more worldly nature too, maybe we weren't listening to our intuition. We could have gotten ourselves in some situations that, we were looking to invest in something. This is our Taurus energy here. Oh, look, there's someone. I might have, from the 4 to the 3, I might have learned more lessons in life. If these things are kind of lining up here the way they are, that maybe I see someone who is kind of more immature. A queen would be more mature than a page. We have the pages, we have the knights, we have the kings and queens, emperor, empress. Look, there's someone who hasn't learned some of the lessons that I've learned in life. I know, I'll go try to change them. And our intuition could have been screaming at us, I don't think you should do that. Because again, it can take years and decades to learn certain lessons in life. And if we go get in a relationship with someone, maybe in the Four of Pentacles, who doesn't like to open up. I don't give of myself, but you're like a loving, giving, nurturing person. We can kind of think, oh, I'm going to inspire someone who's defensive to have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. I like playing that role in people's life. Well, how did that work out? We got to accept that people are where they're at. And our intuition could have been screaming at us, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think you should do this. I think you're kind of being immature. You know someone who's kind of defensive, maybe emotionally closed off, but you think I can change people. God's been working with them, and the whole universe and everyone in their life and the world around them has been trying to get them to maybe look at life differently, to be more hopeful and believing in themselves or in love, I mean, it's always good to be encouraging and loving and supportive to people, but am I going to date you? Am I going to marry you? We could have done all those things before. Where really, if we see high vibe energies dealing with the truth, not getting caught up in illusion, defensive to the truth, that can be kind of like, no, God, I'm going to try to make this work. And God's like, well, you guys have completely different philosophies of life. You view life much differently than they view life. Oh, I'm going to make it work, God. Okay. All right. But a house divided can't stand. If they're more caught up in being immature, just haven't learned those lessons. They're more about something other than what you're motivated and inspired by, because you're in different places in life, based on the lessons that you've learned. Can we have friends and family and children and siblings that we're all on different page and coworkers? Yeah. And we can all get along and we can be loving and encouraging and supportive. Am I going to date you or marry you when I can see that we are not on the same page? That we might view life completely differently. It's nice to work with someone who wants to build their life based on love versus, because it is a world of duality. We have to see the truth that some people are not motivated and inspired by love. I don't want to do it. I'm defensive. I could get hurt. I do not let my more authentic nature out to play. And you're someone who wants to do love with people who do let their more childlike, hopeful, believing nature out to play. And if we see the truth of it and we don't want to keep, because they want to be in a relationship with someone who lets them be who they are and live life the way they want to live it. And you want to be in relationships with people who let you be who you are and let you live life the way you want to live it. And you live life and view life completely differently. And we just see the truth of it. And we quit trying. The fives talk about change. Five of Wands, Five of Swords. Quit trying to change other people just like you don't want other people to try to change you. You can get in a mismatched relationship and those people are defensive to you because you look at life differently. You think outside the box. You live outside the box. And their comfort zone can be to live within how they view life. And you do not fit in that box. And they want you to fit in that box. And you're like, I can't fit in that box. I can't. I thought I could. And we were living together, but I thought, and we can have all this mental conflict and this inner conflict. And sometimes it is all these things that we weren't telling each other about what we ultimately, at a core foundational level, love. And as we move forward in the relationship and there's all this conflict and fighting about how we're going to move forward, it's because, and we maybe didn't even know, some of the people that are more defensive or more about themselves or more about these things in the world, they could have thought, maybe I would do love with you or whoever they were in a relationship with. But in some relationships, it got to the point where people really had to pick a path. After the fives, of course, come the six. We're either moving forward in high vibe Leo energy, inspired to get out of our more defensive, egoic, self-protective, worldly more focus, and be inspired to be more authentic and inspired by love. And in the Five of Swords, we would then go to the Six of Swords. I have been enlightened to the truth. It is not two cards of Aquarius energy. It's not just about me. It's about doing equal give and take in a relationship. But some people do have a philosophy of life that the scales of justice should be kind of tipped in favor of them. It's kind of more about them, or they're like the boss. They should somehow kind of be given preferential treatment in a relationship, male or female. Maybe periodically they get to be immature or selfish, act shadowy energies, being more manipulative in a relationship. And they want to maybe make their life more about the things of the world. That can be what they think is most important because that's where they derive their sense of worth and value from. That's how they feel validated in the world. High vibe energy is about seeing the truth that I should validate my worth and value. Quit looking outside of myself for everyone else to validate my worth and value. I don't have to look away a certain way. I don't got to dress a certain way. I don't have to have a certain amount of money. I want to be authentically myself. I don't want to be caught up in all this worldly bullshit. You know what? High vibe Leo energy. I'm going, in my philosophy of life of Taurus, I'm going to invest in just being at a place of peace within myself, balance within myself. I'm not going to get all caught up in my head about it. I choose love. I choose to love myself, believe in myself, offer myself love and encouragement, compassion, and forgiveness. I offer love and encouragement, compassion, and forgiveness to other people. And I'm going to treat other people the way I like to be treated. Be loving and encouraging and supportive. The people who want to work with me in that energy will be people who want to exchange resources with me. Will there be people who don't want to? Yeah. Because some of them are mad that you're not acting the way they act or manipulated by things that manipulate them. Your more high vibe energy is about being free to live your authentic life. Could just be jealous that you're kind of shining your authentic light. Why aren't you being petty and envious and jealous and manipulative and, I don't know, prideful, egotistical? Why are you kind of high vibe energy and the Six of Pentacles being at a place of balance? Why aren't you up in your head? Why aren't you down in your emotions? Why aren't you in your heartbreak? Why aren't you all these things? It's like, well, because I didn't like living my life like that, so I offered myself a cup of love to invest in my own fearful, insecure nature and offer myself some love so I could get out of my inner conflict and my mental conflict to feel more balanced within myself. And I quit looking to people outside of myself to be the answer to my problems. I view High Vibe Leo as giving yourself the things that you wish other people would have given me. And I don't want to be in more immature, feeling betrayed energy and defensive energy. I'm going to work to come to a place of peace about everything that's kind of a lot of major things that have happened in my life, put things in perspective, like I mentioned earlier. And then I don't want to be in more codependent energy because there's people in the world that want me in codependent energy. Yeah, let's get in a relationship. You stay here. This is good for my ego and my image. Let's stay here. Don't change. Don't get more balanced. Don't heal and grow and mature yourself. I want to be in a relationship with you. This is a great relationship. But I want you to keep staying codependent. I'm like the parent, you're like the child. I'm the boss, you're like the employee. Make it more about me. You be less about you. And I don't want to be in codependent relationships anymore. I want to be in equal, balanced relationship. And it isn't about me finding people who don't abuse their power or abuse the love that I have for them. I need to do this work within myself to change and to stand up for myself and what I believe in, my truth. I've healed from past pain and heartbreak, and I don't view life the same way I viewed it before. And I'm maintaining balance within myself, acting with character and integrity, walking the talk. And I want to be in relationships with other people who've done that. And if they haven't, then, there can be people that can communicate with me, people who want to hold on to me, people who try to stop me as I'm moving forward. But I want to be in a relationship with you. But I have mental conflict. I want to be in a relationship with you. I'm in my ego. I want to be in a relationship with you. I'm in competition with someone else. I want to be in a relationship with you. And it's like, I'm only going to exchange resources. I'm more involved. I'm going to keep investing in myself, turning my back on people who harness this energy in a shadowy way. If they're harnessing shadowy Leo, shadowy Aquarius, where they're more motivated and inspired to be competitive, want to win at all costs, don't care who they hurt, think that's how you try to get people to get in a relationship with you or keep them in a relationship with you. It's like, oh my God, you got some lessons to learn. How about being truthful and honest and just and fair? Well, no, I haven't learned those lessons yet, and I'm still kind of immature. So I'm going to be competitive and prideful, and I'm going to try to get you in your competitive nature and up in your ego and try to cause you all this inner conflict. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to maintain balance within myself while there's energies around me that might be in that energy, and I'm really not going to invest any time, energy, and effort into them. And yeah, some of those people could be really angry because there are people who don't like you maintaining balance within yourself. Because they would like to maybe be in a relationship with you or get you to play in the dirt with them, but they'd only get back in a relationship with you or get in a relationship with you if you get in this more shadowy energy. Then they would be like, they're watching. Are they in their ego yet? Are they starting to have mental conflict yet? Maybe because of these things that I'm doing. If they are, then maybe I can come in and see if they want to get in a relationship. Because they're conflicted. They're, not maintaining balance within themselves. They've tipped out of balance. Then I can come in and try to get in a relationship with them, indulge in a relationship, be immature in a relationship. That's the kind of relationship I want to be in. But I might want to be in a relationship with a high vibe person, but I can only get in that relationship if I can get them in that shadowy kind of more energy, conflicted energy. And some high vibe people are like, I am continuing to be inspired based on the lessons I've learned in life. So the 5 comes after the 4 of Wands, which is like your foundation. My foundation is inspired to the 5 of Swords comes after the 4 of Swords based on the healing I've done and the truths I've learned about life and how different people can be in the world. And this is a masculine energy, so it means people are taking action based whether they're male or female. I am taking action on my truth that I am inspired by, and I am maintaining balance within myself. And because of that, some people are mad. Because it would be like a dream to be in a relationship with some high vibe people in their life. But they can't be in a relationship with them because they're not willing to invest in change and being more balanced within themselves. They might not want to do love, but they want to be in a relationship with you because you're loving and nurturing and encouraging and supportive, and it's great to be in a relationship with you. But they want you to indulge them in their ego nature or immature nature. It's like, no, you can go find someone else to be in a relationship with. And as some of you got out of those workplaces and relationships because people were immature and bossy and controlling, you didn't want to move forward with those people anymore. You held back from investing in those people, even though it caused you this inner conflict and mental conflict. From the 7 of Pentacles down to the 6 of Pentacles, you saw that some of those things weren't aligned with your truth in the Ace of Pentacles. The way that they want to interact in workplaces, friendships, and relationships, and in their Taurus energy of what they think is like just and fair, is not my truth. So I don't want to invest in those people or that job. And I'm going to do this work within myself to not get in high vibe. The 5s just mean I'm also at a place of balance because there's a maximum of 10. So if you're at a 5, you're also at a place of balance. And I am going to keep being inspired by my truth, maintaining balance within myself. I might communicate. The Wands and the Swords are about communication. I might communicate with different people in my world who I might think are on the same page as me to try to find some people. I can just know people and have acquaintances and friendships with people. And if I'm not in a relationship, and this whole situation wasn't about someone that I'm in a relationship and this is just some outside person. But if I'm not in a relationship, I'm just going to keep getting to know people to find the people who are on the same page. If I want to invest in someone and that person doesn't want to work cooperatively with me in a relationship, well, I have no idea. I don't know. That could be a really great decision of theirs, because if they're in their own high vibe relationship, yeah, I don't want you to get out of that relationship and think you're just going to come in your shadow nature of your immature, indulgent nature to come indulge in a relationship with me, but you really want to be in a relationship with those people. No, you stay in your relationship with those people. I will communicate my truth, and then I'm just going to keep moving on. And if you don't take action to work together with me, I'm not going to keep chasing after someone, because you know how you want to live your life, and you might already know you're not on the same page as me. And if I keep chasing after you, it's like, well, fine, apparently you're tipped out of balance and you want to invest in someone like me. Okay, hell, I really didn't think it was a good idea myself, but hey, you want to indulge me in a relationship because you don't got some inner conflict about your dreams coming into reality? I'll indulge you in a relationship. We can repeat a pattern like this. Your dream won't come into reality with me. That's why some people hold back from you, because they know they don't view life the way you view life. Now, if you keep chasing after them, hey, yeah, let's go another round, man. Maybe works for me. So, And so some of you have already done that. And it's like, if people know themselves well enough, and some people are already in just and fair and loving relationships, and they should stay in those. I'm just going to speak my truth. If they're not on the same page, fine. And then as I move forward, there's going to be other people who might want to be in a relationship with me, and I will get to know people, is what the Six of Pentacles can talk about. I'm still going to kind of hold on to my foundation of self. I can get to know people until I kind of find out what their truth is. And if I think we're on the same page, then we can start working together and maybe get in a more involved relationship. But until I know what kind of drives and motivates them, ego, materialism, lust, greed, all about themselves, status and image, until I know that we're operating from the same foundation, that we've both changed, I won't be investing in some people. And some people won't like it. What's coming up for people who are in some high vibe Taurus energy that you might not see coming? The Tower, the Chariot, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. Why? Because of the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups. For some people who already got out of situations and kind of took some distance from some people in your life, whoever that might be, or a workplace, whatever it is, you're taking this time to not engage with people who you think are kind of in shadowy energy. Shadowy Taurus could be stubborn, unwilling to budge, competitive, might want you to move forward in a relationship with them, but it could be more about ego and image, or just don't want to look for a different relationship, so like you'll do, or because you have the status and image that they'd have with you, they want to be in it with you. And it's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with people for those reasons. If your philosophy of life is that, all these cards that can represent balance, where everybody is inspired by truth and love and equal give and take, then I will move forward with you. If not, I am going to turn my back to people who seem to have inner conflict and mental conflict about that concept in a relationship. And what you don't see coming as you move forward, as time goes by, you will be able to more emotionally maybe detach from some of these people. Initially, we can hold back and kind of separate from people, but emotionally, we're emotionally complex, and it takes more time to emotionally disconnect from people. And I think the Tower is about that you get out of your ego about some people that you could have love for, but you're just not on the same page. And you get in the driver's seat of your life out of love to move forward in your life and be inspired to have this new beginning with people who aren't operating kind of in shadowy Leo and shadowy Cancer, where they live more from their mind than their heart, try to present themselves as a loving person, but they use their sexuality and their emotions manipulatively in a relationship. You want to be in relationships with people who, in high vibe Taurus, high vibe Leo, high vibe Cancer, are authentic and loving and warm, and are people who are who they say they are, that really do equal give and take in a relationship. And it could shock some people in your life that you keep maintaining this discipline within yourself, because they could be acting out of pride or ego or lust or greed or immaturity and trying to get you in competitive energy, get you in your ego, or just they act immature in the world and you're not. And, again, there's people in the world like, damn, go act immature in the world. I want to indulge for a day, a night, whatever. And you're not having it. And it's like, shit. um, And if anybody does, different people, everybody, there's different people who might want to be in a relationship with you. Some of those people could be shocked that, they can't more tempt you in your lust and your greed and your ego. It's like, shit, that person's changed. I guess I'm going to have to go find someone else who harnesses this energy in a more shadowy way, maybe more worldly focused in shadowy Capricorn, haven't freed themselves from some of the things that manipulate them. Maybe I'll have to go find someone else who's more about the world, because that might be more what they're about, or fearful or something that they can go indulge themselves. It's like, yeah, you go indulge yourself in those people, because that's not the type of relationships I'm getting into. And I think as you keep moving forward in that way, there's going to be people that are on the same page as you, that are inspired by you, that are attracted to you, that want to be in long-term relationships with you, because they see you are who you say you are, and that's the kind of person they are. So you will get in relationships with people who are more on the same page. What about people who harness a shadowy Taurus energy or worldly that they don't see coming? The Nine of Pentacles, because of the Six of Cups. When people are kind of being intimidating, controlling, maybe acting like a private detective in a relationship, thinking people should indulge them in their immature nature, people should make them the center of their universe, people should indulge them in their ego, or, they're just consumed with these things of the world that they're consumed with, they're going to have some people in their life who kind of know their worth and value, that are going to reconcile themselves to seeing that this is the type of way of living life, a pattern. The Six of Cups can talk about repeating a pattern. Other people can see that like you're living your life like, I could be 35, we're both 35, but you still live like a 25-year-old. But hey, man, I rocked out when I was 25. I'm kind of done with it. And I really don't want to go out back to it. Been there, done that. And, we just see that some people are maybe what we would consider some poor past patterns, or more immature ways of being. Or, again, the Six of Cups is Scorpio energy. Some of you could have been dealing with a Scorpio, but anybody in their Scorpio energy of self could be that they have these ways of being and interacting in a relationship, and they want to keep doing that. And you could find it like nothing grows here, nothing changes here. There's a lack of inspiration. You're defensive. You won't look at life from any other perspective, maybe. It's all about these things, and on top of it, maybe I could find you emotionally shallow and superficial. And they're going to have some people who become independent of them. Why? Because those people want to be in relationships with people who kind of want, they have a different way of interacting in life and in relationships that motivate and inspire them. We can all have our ways of being that we like to interact with people, but high vibe people want to be in relationships with people who are inspired by love, so they can, in high vibe Scorpio, have deep, meaningful relationships. And we can realize some people aren't comfortable with that, so we wish them peace, and we go to try to find the people in the world that are more on the same page as us. And then the people who are kind of living their pattern, if they can find someone who is willing to be in a relationship with them and defend being in a relationship with them, maybe because it looks good by worldly standards, maybe they were single, they were both single, don't want to be single, want to be in a relationship with someone, it's good for their ego and their image, and maybe neither one of them have learned to love themselves, or don't really want to do love anyway. Hey, you want to be in a relationship? Kind of want to go indulge in these things or make our life about these things? Yeah, that's how I like to live my life too. Well, that would be a just and fair relationship for them. They're on the same page. So I think they'll kind of stay in their comfort zone, which is fine. It's just that other people live their life a certain way. I don't want to keep living my life that way and repeating that old pattern. I'm ready to go on this adventure, letting love and intuition be what guides me. And go find other people who maybe don't want to make their life more about these things or codependency. So there you go, Taurus energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.